Channel, this is another live stream. I like doing these live streams just to go through a quick unboxing video. We just had some new parts been delivered today. I wasn't expecting them to turn up on Saturday, so I was quite surprised. It's missing one component, which is a power supply. So we won't do a whole build. We can save the build for a bit later video anyway. This is going to be an Unraid server build, so it's going to be running quite a large amount of disks, large amount of caches and SSD drives, lots of RAM, and obviously quite a nice powerful processor. I've gone for the 8 cores AMD rather than an Intel based one, which is or 32 cores that can be really expensive. So this is on a very sort of budgetable build cache. So let's show you just very briefly what we've got, and then we'll save the main video a bit later. So we'll do a build video, we'll do an Unraid installation video for that one, and a configuration build of how I build an Unraid server, how it's all put together from ground level upwards. So let's see what we've got. So I've gone for, now let's move the parts just down here. So very briefly, I've gone for a Gigabyte motherboard. Again, it's all low budgetable, it's not all about the best parts and stuff. So I've gone for the Gigabyte mainboard, and it's the 970A DS3P. I've gone for this because this has like onboard six SATA ports as such. AMD, obviously for the processor, has 2 PCI Express slots, so I'm going to put 2 gaming graphics cards in there, but we're going to have a basic graphics card, got an Ethernet port and lots of USB ports. Most of that ain't going to be used because it's going to be an Unraid build. So all I'm going to be using one USB port, run the Unraid software off. I won't be using onboard controller because I'm going to be using the LSI adapter card that I did a video of earlier. So we're going to use that instead. So that's 2 channels, 4 devices per channel, giving me up to 8 hard drive devices. That's what we're going to use on this build. So that's the Gigabyte motherboard. Very simple, doesn't cost lots of money, and it's easy to replace if something goes wrong as well. And because I've got quite a few Unraid servers here, got one on that bench just there as you can see, that's an Unraid server using the same components and parts. And what we're going to do is we're going to do some load balancing in Unraid across both boxes, so we can run VM virtual desktops. So I've got an Exchange server running on that box, so we're going to put it over 2 boxes and do some sort of clustering, and we can see what options in Unraid allows us to put it apart. So we might have to do some bits on the Windows side, some bits on the Unraid side, and see if we can make it load balancing solution. I've got the GeForce GTX 1050 TXI to go in here, so graphics card. But this allows us to create a virtual desktop and allow it pass through to the main graphics card, so we can add mouse keyboard onto the Unraid box, so we can act as a desktop if we wanted to on that side as well, because we've got plenty of cores to run. So for the graphics card, we've got 32 gig of RAM, so we're using the Fury RAM, Hyper Fury, and it's 16 gig kits. We've got 2 of those, by the way, and DDR3, 186, CLR 10, 240 pins, blah blah blah. So 32 gig of RAM, that's important for VMware itself, not the Unraid side, because obviously Unraid using just as a disk array doesn't take a lot of RAM, but it's more for the virtual desktops we do need that RAM for. We've got the AMD FX chip. Again, it's not the high end, it's not the low end, it's in between, but the main thing is it runs at 4 GHz, double clocked up to 5 GHz if I wanted to, and also it has 8 cores. 8 cores is perfect for running virtual desktops, so we can have a core per desktop if we wanted to as well. And because we've got the 32 GB of RAM, we can assign the desktops to 2, 4 or 8 gigs depending on what we run on them. So not, again, this is under £100, so it's not been hugely expensive and stuff. Now I've been installing these type of builds with 2 SSD drives at 500 gigs each. I don't want to go for 1 TB, it's a bit too expensive, but I thought we're getting to putting 2 in there, so file copying to this from a Mac or for a PC is pretty quick. So I'm wondering if we had a 3rd one in there, because it writes all disks at the same time, reads all disks at the same time, it could make massive improvements on copying data on and off the server. So we'll see how that will work. I may be wrong, who knows? Best thing to do is test it. And this time I've gone for, I normally go for desktop type storage drives, but instead I've gone for the Seagate 3 TB IronWolf NAS drives, so designed for 24/7, 360 days a year. So these are more robust, better for storage, long-term storage, and they come with 3 years warranty. So if the drive fails, it can be sent off and replaced back. Makes life easier. So you're covered for 3 years for drive failure. Because we got 6 of these, so I brought 6 of them. It's going to give us tons of storage, tons of redundancy itself. And the case I've got here, I'm missing the main power supply unit because that's coming on a different shipment. Unfortunately, it hasn't come today, but these bits did come today. The case we're using, if we look back behind us here, that's the Corsair N300 case. Very straightforward. And the reason why I chose that box is because you can have up to 8 of these hard drives in there. It's got fronts. It's at the front of the case. It's got double fans you can put here, so it'll blow air across, keeping these nice and cool. You can have up to 8 of those. And in the bay just above it is also it's enough room to put all 3 or 4 or 5 or 6 of the SSD drives. Please send me your PC. And we're going to have the LSI RAID controller card, so that will improve speed on copying and writing. And we're also going to install the Corsair Master Liquid 240 low profile RAD and CPU cooler, so that'll go in there, keep it really nice and tidy. And plus we don't have to fit one of those great big bloody heatsink fans and stuff like that we currently have on the old ones here. So this is going to be on the new builds, so that'll keep it really nice and tidy inside, and it won't look like it's too busy inside the case itself, and that will help to keep the processor nice and cool. Especially if you're running virtual desktops, then it can take a lot of the CPU time up and never cause overheating though, but it helps keep the processor nice and cool as well. So the AMD, we can double clock up to 5 GHz if we need to be, but mostly Unraid will run quite nicely on 4 GHz, 8 cores. That's all very good. So that's the other build we're going to do. So we'll do installing it. So I'm going to do little video clips of this, breaking it down, how to install RAM, the right way around it, how to install the CPU, how to install the liquid cooler and all that sort of stuff on separate videos, because a lot of people ask me for those sort of videos to do. Hard drives, we're going to probably put 4 in this case rather than the whole lot, because that'll be like too much storage. So we do have backup boxes here that are up to 10 terabytes storage, and the data on here only stays on here while it's been worked with. When it's finished, it goes off onto the archive, so it doesn't need to be on our main storage server, hence why I'm not going to put too much space in there. So yeah, so that's what we do. Anyway, so we'll get on with that, and we'll produce another videos very shortly. This budget build here all cost about £1,500, £1,503 I think, all brought from ebuyer.com itself. So I'll put all the details very soon, so once I get around to edit this video, we'll put all the details in the description for you. Or you can hop over to jacksgear.co.uk and we'll put all the parts and stuff up on there for you to go and have a shop around if you want to know where to buy all these bits from. I've had one of these fail the other day, and we've replaced it, and we sent that one off because these come with long-term warranty, and so we'll send a new one in the post to you. So those are pretty good. So it's always good to go for the drive that has long-term warranty, because then that way you don't have to worry about keep buying drives to replace dead ones. So as long as they die within 3 years, you're fully covered for a replacement disc itself. And the SSD drives, I believe, and the IronWolf ones, you can buy them with first year data recovery free of charge. So they will actually attempt to recover your data if that's what you want. So they are pretty good on that side with individual drives and the Seagate stuff. So yeah, there we go. So if you buy the LS drive, remember you've got to buy the cables because it doesn't come with it itself anyway. So that's it from the moment. So if you like the video, put a thumbs up. Don't like the video, thumbs down. If you're a subscriber, hit the subscribe button. If you're not, remember hit the notification button for next time I come online and do a live stream like this, or when I upload some more videos very shortly. So we've still got a lot of cabling to do in our cave here. I've got all this to tidy up, So once they're all done, we'll do some networking cable installs with patch panels, switching techniques and things like that. Load balancing your broadband router, got one here just above there. How to load balance your router using 2 ISPs, or you can use up to 4 ISPs, but in this case I've only got 2 ISPs here. I've got Virgin and Sky, so we'll configure that later date, load balance both of those and show how that works, so stay tuned. So thanks for watching guys, thanks for all your support guys, cheers.